This morning, as student protesters continue facing arrest on college campuses around the country, one university in Connecticut remains notably quiet. Eyewitness News reporter Marcy Jones now joins us live from Wesleyan. And Marcy, we certainly saw arrests at UConn yesterday and police removing an encampment at Yale. So what's the scene like there where you are in Middletown this morning?
That's right. Good morning, Roger. Well, a very different scene out here than what we've seen at Columbia University. Things are very quiet and very peaceful. Nothing aggressive, nothing disturbing out here. And the university president says as long as things continue like this, they can stay. Now, we've seen smashed windows, buildings being taken over by protesters, and more than 100 arrests at places like Columbia. Now, the encampment here at Wesleyan University is very tame. The university's president released a statement via a blog post yesterday saying, in part, this morning you can find pro-Palestinian protesters camped out behind North College. The students there know that they are in violation of university rules and seem willing to accept the consequences. The protest has been nonviolent and not disrupted normal campus operations. As long as it continues in this way, the university will not attempt to clear the encampment. Back out here live, the president went on to say they will not tolerate any intimidation, aggressive behavior, or harassment. They're encouraged that they haven't seen any of that so far. Again, things are all quiet. As long as it stays that way, the encampment will not be cleared. Reporting live in Middletown, Marcy Jones, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.